is probably our strongest use case. So I would say it's amazingly effective. It's the reason we were funded by In-Q-Tel when we were just a startup. It feels like every month, to be honest, it feels like our software is able to detect some incredible inside threats and protect the most valuable assets of our customers. The main reason I think we're so effective is that we use a combination of buzzword alert, behavioral anomaly detection, and risk modeling. But I'll try and drill down into that so you can get some insight as to how it works. But essentially, the math is very good at detecting sequences of human and process behaviors that are both unusual and suspicious. And the reason that makes it so effective is the biggest challenge with insider threat, to be honest, is human creativity, right? So traditional rules and policy-based approaches, they don't really work because those approaches require you to essentially define in advance what bad looks like. So you write a rule to say, hey, look for this, or you write a policy that says, hey, look for exactly this. But if you have a sufficiently advanced adversary who is a human that is highly motivated and highly creative, they can probably work around those rule-based approaches. But our math doesn't really need to make that assumption. So I'll give you a real-world example that actually just happened recently. So there's an employee in one of our customers who stole data from the organization. So that was the unfortunate behavior that that happened there. However, our system was able to detect it. And what's interesting about this example is how this human employee tried to exfiltrate the data. He probably suspected that there were some traditional DLP type systems and rules in place to look for standard ways of copying data. So what this employee did was he actually used disk partitioning tools to clone the source partition of the data that he wanted to steal and clone it to an external USB device. So very creative, right? Very unusual. There was no rule to look for this behavior at the customer environment. So there was no rule that said, hey, look for disk partitioning tools because system administrators use those tools all the time. There was no rule that said, hey, look for someone using this to migrate data from this location to the other. However, ArcSight Intelligence still detected it because it was able to see that this was super unusual, super suspicious, especially in the context of this employee who previously never really ran disk partitioning tools this much, unusual volume of traffic flowing to the USB device, and this brought this particular login immediately to the attention of the security team. So that's just one example of many. But again, the reason it's effective is because it's not based on rules. It's basically very powerful math that looks for unusual sequences of highly suspicious behaviors.